this is Karen Del Cruz of kdbizsolutions.com, and welcome to Take Action Tuesday, where you get weekly tips on systems, tech, support, and marketing for running a successful service-based business. So just a quick backstory here. Back in 2011, I launched my Teach Me Tuesday YouTube series, and I was just sharing tips on social media, productivity tools, outsourcing. I enjoyed sharing these tutorials. So I'm relaunching my series as Take Action Tuesday for business owners to take action every single week. So I hope you enjoy these how-to videos. Today's topic is one of my favorites, and that is webinars. So we will be talking about how to keep your webinar attendees engaged. Because honestly, no one wants to host a webinar and just hear crickets. And this is true. No one wants to hear you drone on and on. But unless you take steps to keep your viewers engaged during your webinar, that's exactly what you risk happening. So I will talk about the 4 strategies, and these are very simple strategies that you can do to keep your viewers interested and listening, even if the webinar seems to go on longer than you have anticipated. Okay, so tip number 1 is to hold your questions. So if it seems like your viewers drop off the webinar or your call just as you're about to make an offer, you're not imagining things. So this happens often. So many attendees join the webinar or your training with no thought to buy. And they will leave the minute it's clear that the training is over. So you can curb this with one simple trick, and that is to hold the questions until after your offer. So by breaking up the training with an offer in the middle, you are more likely to hold your audience's attention for the duration of the event. The second tip is to do a contest. So much like holding questions until after the offer, the same effect can be had by hosting a contest in which the winner is not announced until the end of the webinar. So this really gives them a reason to wait until the end of the webinar. So you can offer a prize to the first few people to attend the webinar. So that encourages people to join the webinar early. So you can give a prize to the early birds, or you can ask a question. So of course the question should be based on the content of the webinar. So this virtually ensures that your viewers are paying attention. So the third tip is to get your audience talking. So don't let your attendees just sit and passively watch. So that's not what you want to happen. So instead, get them talking. So most webinar platforms have some kind of chat or question feature. So there's maybe a Q&A form or a chat box. So make use of those features by chatting or talking to your audience. So this is an example. So at the beginning of your webinar, be sure to ask them or let them know if they can hear you and see your slides. So you've probably seen that on webinars. So ask them, can you see my slides? Can you hear me? Let me know by typing on the chat box on the right or below this video. So throughout the call, as you make a point or reveal a great tip, ask them for their knowledge. Or let's just say, here's an example. Within the next month, how much do you want to make in your business? Type in the comments or enter your answer on the chat box. So that's how you get them talking. Okay, so for the last tip is to tell a story. So everyone loves a great story, and if you've got one, now is the time to tell it. So I have one client who does this all the time, and she does her webinars or her teleclasses. She would always tell a short story. Sometimes she would tell a personal story, like for example, when she has done some mistakes in her business when she was just starting out, or a story about a prospect or a client and the solutions that she has given to these clients. So make sure to link your story to the content of your webinar. So your attendees would really love that. The last thing you want is for your webinar to be a boring hour-long event that drives attendees away. And it's pretty depressing to watch the attendee number drop before you're even halfway through your slides. So that's not what you want to happen. If you put these tips in play, you will have much happier and engaged webinar attendees.